What's up, you guys? Cam Jennings here, aka Zero Fats, coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com. Hope you guys are doing amazing out there. Let's see if I can adjust this a little bit better. Anyways, hope you guys are doing great out there. Wanted to talk to you about getting affiliates. I want to talk to you guys about how to get more affiliates to promote your stuff. And you know, it's funny because the more I talk to people, especially newer people who are just getting started, that's one of the big things they feel is the reason that they fail, because they can't get enough affiliates to promote their stuff, you know. And I can understand that, and I can appreciate it. I want to give you 5 tips today on getting more affiliates. In case you're interested, in case you're wondering, yes, I am launching a new product tomorrow. It's called Talk Show Empire. It's going to be sweet, and it's actually going to tie into these tips a little bit, and you'll see why when we get to the end. But let's get on with the tips. What's up, Big Randall Hall? My man in the house. So the first tip when it comes to getting more affiliates is, well, this is kind of a bonus tip, but let me just give this to you. There's things that are in your control, and there are things that are outside of your control when it comes to getting affiliates, right? I'm going to give you 5 things that are in your control. You cannot frustrate yourself or stress yourself or be down on yourself over whether or not affiliates get on board with your thing. You can't do it. Delilah Taylor in the house. What's up, Delilah? You can't worry about it. You do everything that you can do. You go through all the steps. You go through the same procedures every time, and you can't control what the affiliates are going to do. The affiliates are going to do what the affiliates are going to do. You can't worry about it. It's your job to take all the steps you need to take to put yourself in a good position to have a successful situation, right? A successful launch or a successful blog or a successful whatever. It's your job to put yourself in a position to be successful, and you can do what you can do. So spend your energy focusing on things within your control. You can't control what the affiliates are going to do. You can't do it. But you can manipulate the environment a little bit to help pull the affiliates on board, if that makes sense. I hope that doesn't sound too hokey, but it's the truth. You can manipulate the environment a little bit. You can do things in a certain way that will make you appear a little bit more attractive for affiliates. Okay, so let's get into some of them. The first thing that you want to do is you want to hit targeted affiliates, right? Affiliates that are known to promote things similar to what you're offering, right? You can find these affiliates by looking at contests of previous products that have sold. Products similar to yours, products in the same basic niche as yours. Check their contests. You'll find these contests on Warrior Plus. You'll find them on JVZoo. You'll find people posting leaderboard results on Facebook. And when people are posting those leaderboard results on Facebook, they're going to put a list of a whole slew of affiliates that all know how to sell stuff. Now, that's fine. You got targeted affiliates. It's not that hard to get a list of targeted affiliates. People who know how to sell crap. What do you do with it? That's where people mess up. Okay, so what you want to do, in my opinion, this is how I do it, is you move people through an assembly line. Okay, if you don't know somebody, the first step, you got a list of affiliates here, then you got an assembly line for them, right? Step 1, reach out, right? That's like a feeler, and it's really just about respect. You're just giving them some respect. You're reaching out to them, and you're saying, hey, what's up? I respect the hell out of what you do. You're awesome. Great job. I love what you do. Love your work, right? Giving them some respect. That's step 1. You wait, right? After step 1, you wait. You wait to see if they get back to you. If they get back to you and say, hey, thanks, or whatever, cool, crack in the door. Move on to step 2. Ask for permission to send them a review copy of your product or your thing or whatever. Hey man, could I have permission to send you a copy of this launch I got coming up? I understand if you're not interested, but I'd love to be able to send you a copy to see what you think if you're interested. Just ask for permission, right? That's step 2. Move them along. If they say, yeah, sure, bring it on, then you send them the review copy, right? Now on step 2, there's high potential for those affiliates to tell you to go screw off because they don't know you. You know, you gave them some respect, but you didn't become their best friend. Big Sal Maroni in the house. What's up, man? You gave them some respect, but you didn't become their best friend. You're not gonna become their best friend. It's an impossibility for you to become their best friend in a month. All right, it's not gonna happen. But you can give them respect and you can move them along. So step 2, ask for permission, man. And if they say yeah, bring it on, then send them the review copy. And then, step 4 is follow up with them maybe a day or so before the launch. Just check in with them, ask them if they need anything. You're gonna be launching tomorrow. You appreciate them taking the time to check out the review copy. If they need anything, just ask, and you'd love to have them on board. And that's basically the whole process of moving them through the assembly line. Now you want to do that for like 100, 200, 300 targeted affiliates. Move them all through that assembly line, right? This is going to improve your chances so much of having a successful launch or whatever your thing is, right? So that's 1, targeted affiliates. 2, use Muncheye. Don't launch without posting on Muncheye.com. I mean, that's like the hub for launches and promotions, especially in the internet marketing space. That's a hub. Everybody posts on Muncheye. I get tons of traffic to my website every month from Muncheye. So it's important if you're going to launch, post on Muncheye. Okay? That's an easy one, Muncheye.com. And we're talking about things that are in your control to position yourself to have a successful launch, right? Because you can't control what the affiliates are going to do, but you can do things to manipulate the environment to help you have a successful launch. These are things within your control. You can't control if affiliates are going to promote your stuff, but you can control how many affiliates you reach out to. You can control how you approach those affiliates. You can make it systematic, and you'll have a higher chance of success if you do it that way. Okay? So number 3, hit the launch groups. There are literally hundreds of JV launch groups on Facebook. Literally hundreds of them. All right? Now, you go to these groups, and you'll see that nobody's talking. Nobody's saying anything. It's just people posting about their launches. And when you see that, you might think, oh man, this is a waste of time. This ain't going to help me at all. Just forget it, man. I don't even want to be a part of this group. That's wrong. That's wrong. You got to understand there's different kinds of groups on Facebook. Those launch groups are not engagement groups. They're not really about engagement. They're almost like classified ads. People go there to see what's happening. What kind of launches are happening? You won't get a lot of engagement when you post about your launch in those groups. But what you will get is more affiliates on your launch because they're like advertisements. You're putting your ads out there. It's free advertising. There are literally hundreds of JV groups on Facebook. All right. I suggest joining about 100 of them and having a list of 100 of them and like a Google Sheets document, so you have links to them and posting about your launch in every single one of them, right? This will help your launch. This is something within your control that will help you sell more units and make your launch more successful. And you can control this. Now, what I will say about that is don't go too fast. If you go too fast, Facebook's going to put you in jail, okay? One at a time. Open one up, post about your launch, close it, open another one up, post about your launch, close it. If you try to get slick, if you try to get cute, you're going to get put in Facebook jail, okay? If you try to open like 1,000 tabs at the top and like bam, 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 rapid fire, you're going to get blocked, man. You need to stop. It's a little tedious. It takes a little time, but we're talking about the difference between, a couple of units sold and hundreds of units sold, okay? So these are things that are in your control that you can do to make your launch more successful. Big Gil Baller in the house. Thank you, Gil. Thank you, man. So what else? What else can we do? This is where things get a little bit intangible, okay? The first 3 things I gave you, they're very step-by-step. You can all do them. Now we're going to get into a little bit of intangible things that are probably going to require a tiny bit of practice for you to get good at. But you need to be practicing them, because if you don't practice them, you're not going to get good at them, and they're important. So when you start reaching out to these targeted affiliates on Facebook, right, what happens is you're triggering the Facebook algorithm, right? You're triggering the Facebook algorithm. You're having contact with a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of new people you don't have a lot of contact with usually. And you're triggering that algorithm to start putting your content on their timeline. Okay, so it's one thing to reach out to them and move them through the timeline, and move them through your assembly line for affiliates, but it's not enough. Now what we need to do is we also need to post content on our profile, like polarizing content that's cool, man, like interesting. So can you be polarizing? You know, and like for you to be polarizing, it's not the same as for me to be polarizing. Generally, you just need to be yourself. You need to be yourself, but you need to put yourself out there, right? Tell a personal story, slam it on your timeline, you know? To be polarizing, I think in this day and age, what you really need to do is have a take, right? You don't need to be outrageous. You don't need to say a bunch of cuss words. You don't need to be acting like anybody else. You just need to be acting like yourself, but you need to have a take. You need to have opinions. So tell a story, have some opinions, give some actionable content, you know, say something, have a lesson, give them a takeaway, something, right? And just throw it out there on Facebook. Something interesting. Be interesting, right? This kind of content will start to be triggered and come up in all those people you targeted for affiliates timelines. And you're all of a sudden going to start to be on the radar a little bit more, okay? So this is important, right? This is good stuff. And then also, you want to slip in content about your product launch on your timeline as well. So what it's going to do, you guys, is it's going to make you and make your product launch top of mind, okay? And you guys know what I mean by top of mind? I mean, well, it's like self-explanatory, right? You're top of mind. Whenever people think about a product launch or someone who's getting ready to put out a product, what do they think of? Oh, they think of you, because you're top of mind, because you've been triggering everybody's Facebook algorithm and you're putting out polarizing content on Facebook. So you're top of mind. And you don't get to keep it, you know, but you get to keep it for a few days, long enough for you to launch, right? So that's cool. That's awesome. It's really good. So it's a question of like if I ask a buddy, if I ask one of you guys, like, hey man, what's a good television for me to buy? I need a new television. And you say, well, I think you should buy a Samsung, or I think you should buy a Sony. Why? Why did you recommend that to me? For some reason, those companies were top of mind in your mind, for whatever reason. Maybe you saw a good commercial, or maybe your buddy told you that was a good brand, or maybe you've had one for years and that's why it's top of mind. But the point is, it was top of mind and you referred it to me. It's the same thing with this Facebook thing. The polarizing content can help you be top of mind for the people who you're trying to be top of mind for, so they're interested in your launch. You're not the only one launching. You guys know you're not the only one putting out a product. You're not the only one trying to do something on the internet. So how do you stand out? How do you actually stand out from the crowd a little bit? These are ways that you can do that. So, okay. And then number 5 is probably the most important thing of all. And, you know, I saved it for last because I think it's the most important. And, you know, it might be the thing that you invest a little bit of long-term time into. And number 5 is thinking about your business like a business and building leverage points for your business. And you might think, well, what do I mean? What do I mean? What do you mean, Cam? What are you talking about, build leverage points for your business? What do you mean by that? Well, here's what I mean by that. Okay, when you are running a business, you're looking for ways to be able to do things that give you more back than what you put in, right? So it's leverage, right? How do I lift a car up? I do it with leverage. I don't just put my hands under the car and pull the car up. I couldn't even do that if I wanted to. but I can take a jack and put it under the car and use the hydraulic jack to pump it up. Leverage, right? Leverage. It's the same way with marketing. You know, we can create leverage points. How do you do it? How can you put in less than what you're getting back with your business? How can you create these leverage points? How can you create these things that pay you back more than what you're putting into them? Right? Well, I'll give you one right now. You can go out there and you can start a YouTube channel. You can interview people in your space, people that are relevant, and do it regularly. You can interview them regularly right there on the YouTube channel. You have like a show, like a talk show, right? And like by doing this, the amount of work that you put into that channel is not as much as what you're going to get back from that channel. It's a high leverage point. So you're going to put in this much work and it's going to pay you back in dividends. And that's what I mean about creating leverage for your business. Like that channel is going to position you as an authority, right? And what it's going to do is it's going to make everything easier for you because you're going to be known for that channel. So it's going to make recruiting JVs and affiliates easier. It's going to make selling your products easier. It's going to make networking with other people easier. Everything's going to become easier because you have this thing that's a leverage point that's allowing you to operate from a position of strength for your business. Okay? And that's what I mean, right? Now, there's a lot of leverage points out there like that. But how hard is it to start a simple YouTube channel and to interview people? You don't even have to have any experience for that. All you have to do is have a little bit of commitment and ambition and just commit to doing it once a week. Once a week, do one, right? If you're more interested in how that leverage point operates and how that works and how it can like make your business turn into just blow it up, tomorrow I'm coming out with a new product. It's called Talk Show Empire, and it's going to talk all about that leverage point. It's going to talk about something else that nobody's talking about when it comes to that kind of a leverage point as well. I would love to tell you guys what it is because I'm not really into blind sales pages. I'm not into keeping secrets from people. I like to just tell people what's up. But with this kind of a situation, I'm not going to divulge what it is because it's a hole. It's a hole in the space, and I just don't want to give it out. I want to, but I talk about it in Talk Show Empire, and I don't want to just throw it out there because you don't see a lot of holes in the space. You know what I mean? You don't see a lot of just straight holes in the space. Usually there's always people doing something that you want to do. In this particular case, we got a pretty big hole in the space, and I think it needs filled, and I think some of you guys could fill it. So it is what it is, man. But anyway, that product comes out tomorrow. It's called Talk Show Empire. I think you guys are absolutely gonna love it. It's gonna be awesome. Anyways, I hope these 5 tips on JV recruitment have been helpful to you. Big Mitch Kevin in the house. What's up, man? I hope this video has been helpful to you guys. If you like it, man, give me some likes. Give me some comments. Share this puppy. Alright, man. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, everybody.